Hey guys, I'm back. Welcome back to the Fox Critic. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a movie review. I should say, a not very detailed movie review on Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines. This is the third entry in the Terminator franchise. It was released in 2003. It stars Nick Stahl, Claire Danes, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Kristanna Loken. And instantly, I want to say this movie review isn't going to be these movie reviews on my channel are not going to be very detailed reviews. They're just I want to just get straight to the point, say what I thought of the movie, if I found it good or bad. They're not going to be full in-depth reviews of the movies. They're just what I genuinely thought of it. So let's begin with this review. So the basic plot of this movie is John Connor, played by Nick Stahl, who is now 25 years old. He is living with no record of his existence. He can't be traced by Skynet or anyone else. But then out of the shadows of the future comes the TX, who's played by Kristanna Loken, who is Skynet's most sophisticated cyborg killing machine yet. And I have to say she's a pretty alright villain, but I'll get to that in a second. Now the only hope of survival for John Connor is the return of T-800 himself, or the Terminator, obviously played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they must defeat TX and also the looming threat of Judgment Day, which they apparently didn't stop in Terminator 2 Judgment Day, but only forestalled it, which is a bit infuriating, but okay. Now, as of yet, I'm not exactly a super fan of this franchise, which was why it was quite fun to go into this movie, I guess, blindly, you could say. Without, I don't know too much information about the previous movies, and stuff like that. And it sort of gave me the chance to judge it as a movie rather than a Terminator movie. And, I have to say, it's a pretty good movie. Now, I am a person who just loves movies, and I don't really, hate a lot of movies. That isn't really true, but, right away, I will say the ending for this movie is just amazing. I'm not going to obviously I'm not going to spoil the ending. I want this to be spoiler-free review, by the way. But watch the movie for yourself if you want to. If you want to see the ending. But yeah, obviously this movie is not as good as the first two Terminator movies. It will in no way live up to them. But just because it's not as good as the first two Terminator movies, does that mean that it's really bad? Like, a lot of people would say yes. I know a lot of people who say yes to that question, but I personally don't really agree with that. Now, don't get me wrong, this movie's not brilliant or anything. There are quite a few issues with characters here. Arnold as T-800, this is probably might be his worst performance as the Terminator. And obviously Nick Stahl is a recast. John Connor, I mean, he's alright. He's not brilliant, but he's not terrible either, in my personal opinion. And remember, this horror review is just my opinion, obviously. And the what's it called? The TX villain is she's alright. She's not great, but like she's not as bad as some people say. It's not as bad as a lot of people say it is, in my opinion. She's quite a scary baddie, kind of. So, she is alright. Of course, this movie is an action movie as well, which means, got to talk about the action here. And, each time there was an action scene, I kind of loved it. Again, the action isn't like perfect or anything, and there are quite a few good visual effects. Some of the visual effects are quite good. My favorite scene in particular was a huge truck chase down down just the city, and like I think about midway through the film or something. And that scene was pretty good. Again, the action is not as good, not as legendary as the first two Terminator films, but it is a fun action movie watch, I have to say, and there is a really, really good amount of action. I do love it when action movies have a lot of action. So yeah, the action is pretty good. I feel like the plot of the movie and the pacing of the movie is alright, although the plot isn't isn't very interesting. It's just kind of like a basic kind of action movie formula, I'd say. It doesn't have much depth or anything, and a lot of it is this is what I find the movie often criticized for, that it's just like T2 again, but not as good. And I guess so. Like I said, I'm judging this really just as a movie rather than a Terminator movie, which that really is I guess like my final verdict on the film. I actually thought it was a good movie, but it doesn't fit very well inside of the Terminator franchise. And really, after that, there's not a lot to say. I'm sorry this review is short, but because of the fact that I'm not a super fan of the Terminator franchise just yet, and I don't find it as offensive as other people do because of just how much it kind of abandons the first two movies. Like I said, I'm really just judging it based off of how good of a movie it is, and that's what I have to say. It's an alright movie. I had a better time with it than a lot of other action movie sequels that I've seen. Yeah, it is a lot weaker than the previous Terminator movies, and quite a few of the Terminator movies after, in a lot of people's opinions. But I have to say, my final opinion on the film, I guess, is it is an alright movie, but not a good Terminator movie. So in the end, I guess I would probably give this movie a 7.7 out of 10. It has a lot of problems, and I would say this right now. I probably might rant about it once I become a big super fan of the Terminator franchise, but I can't do that quite yet, so because of that, there's not a lot I can really say about this movie. It's an alright movie, but, it has some problems like the, characters, acting, and depth, but there are some pretty good action set pieces in there, and, like I said, the ending is... I love the ending of the movie. Thank you very much for watching this review. We are going to disagree about this. I'm so sorry. Please do not hate me. Of course, plenty of you Terminator, really big fans of the franchise out there will disagree with me about this. But, yeah, that's my review. It's all personal opinion, of course. No need to get upset at another person's opinion, I'd say. But I'm sure many people disagree with me. But thank you very much for watching this review. If you did enjoy, please do remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to. And until next time, bye bye.